Back of your paper, you have your name. Next to your name is your grade and class code. The artist we learned about today was Claude Monet in his water lily painting, where he wrote down a list of words that were important when we learned about him. This is the back, so on the front you can flip your paper over. I will now show you, using the oil pastels, how to start drawing Monet's water lilies. Please remember that your oil pastels should not be touching the table. They are either in your hand or in the box. If you need to peel paper off, that's fine, but that paper goes in the trash and the oil pastel goes back in the box. Now the first step to making your water lilies is to start with a curved U shape or a smile shape line, and the top is a zigzag to create the petals. I'm going to color mine in yellow, then I will go back with another color to add an accent. If you choose to use another color, that's your choice. I'm showing you how to use yellow. You can start working on this while I'm working. Follow along though. Now remember, if it's something in the close part of the picture, it's going to be bigger, and as it goes further back, it gets smaller. We might add, right now I've got 4, I might add 2 or 3 more. Okay, so now I will start to add my accent colors. Maybe a little bit of pink. And a little bit of orange. Okay, now I will go and start adding my lily pads next. So the shape of the lily pad is just kind of like an oval underneath the flower. Maybe add some more green. Okay, so now that I've colored in the lily pads just a little bit, I don't want to color them in all the way because I do have some green paint that I'm going to paint the lily pads. I do want to add some of the wave lines with white. It's important that you use white at this part. Now as I'm coloring this white on here, you will not be able to see it right away until I go back over with paint, because when you are creating a wax resist, you use an oil pastel or a crayon to draw with, but then when you paint over it, you can see what color you used. So I'm just going to add some wave lines in the background. So I'll tilt my paper a little bit and you'll be able to see. So now you can kind of see where I put the white. So I will go grab a tray of paint and show you how it works. So I'm done with oil pastels. I can make sure that my oil pastels are back in the box when I know they're all back where they're supposed to be, and so are my neighbors. I will put the lid back on, so when it's cleanup time, I don't even need to worry about them. They are already in the box, out of the way, out of sight, out of mind. Done. Now these are liquid watercolors. Very careful, because inside here, this is a liquid like water or juice. So if you are to spill it, it will go everywhere. It will stain the table, your hands, your clothes. So if you have on long white sleeves, you might need to push them up. I've got 3 colors, a green and 2 different blues. So first I'm going to use the green to paint the lily pads in. Just make sure your brush is fully saturated. That means it's got water in it. Here in just a moment, I will call somebody from each one of your tables to go and pick up one of these trays with paint. Now, if your paint runs out, completely gone, then I will walk by. If you raise your hand, I'll walk by with some refill paint and refill the paint. Okay, so now I've got 2 different blues that I would like to use. You can just paint. Now, if you go over the flowers, it's okay because it won't stick. I do not want to paint over the green that I just painted. I want it to stay green. Now this will not take very long as your brush is wet. Now don't pour this onto your paper. Okay, so now I've painted my background. You can see those white lines that I painted with the oil pastels are showing up. That's because it won't stick to it. So now I will start calling people from each table to go get your paint, and then you may get started.